3 nominees.
Senate receives list of ministerial nominees for consideration.
I think it's for the Parliament now to take it upon itself, led by the Speaker, to have a new living wage for Nigerians in the shortest possible time.
House of Representatives canvasses a new living wage for workers. Plus, correspondents on special assignment highlights the role of the legislature in Nigeria's 63 years of nationhood.
If the Nigerian Senate had not been there, the third-term agenda of the Umaru administration could have succeeded.
Good evening and welcome to NTA Parliament News from Abuja, Nigeria's capital. I'm Ene Ojonuba. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu on Tuesday, 3rd October 2023, transmitted a list of 3 additional ministerial nominees to the Senate for screening and confirmation. National Assembly correspondent Rabiu Ali reports.
The communication comes in the second week of resumption of plenary. The lawmakers first went into a closed-door session lasting about 3 hours. President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, read out the communication of President Tinubu.
3 nominees: Dr. Jamila Bio Ibrahim, Balarebe Abbas Lawal, and Mr. Ayodele Olawande.
The lawmakers also adopted a motion effecting some amendments to the Senate standing rules. The new section provides that for a senator to be eligible to contest the office of the President of the Senate or deputy, the contender must have served a term in the Senate. Senate has commended organized labor for suspending the planned strike as raised by Senator Diket Plank.
The Senate will continue to move on legislations that will improve the welfare of our staff.
I appreciate the Trade Union Congress and the Nigerian Labour Congress. The understanding will help to stabilize the economy.
Meanwhile, Senate Committee on Gas has expressed commitments to put in place legislations to enhance federal government's drive on clean energy.
Initiative as it concerns CNG to power buses and for the purpose of ameliorating the sufferings of our people. So we are going to do everything within our powers to support Mr. President.
The committee has a plan to engage stakeholders for immediate action in reinvigorating the sector. From the National Assembly, Rabiu Ali, NTA News.
Meanwhile, Senate has confirmed the 3 nominees after screening process. The House of Representatives says a new living wage is one of the best legacies the federal government can give to Nigerians in the spirit of the nation's 63rd independence anniversary. Members of the House at Tuesday's plenary bared their minds on the need for the political class to pull together in addressing the numerous challenges confronting the nation. National Assembly correspondent Mitairi Ipen reports.
A pledge to Nigeria.
Plenary resumes after the Independence Anniversary holiday, and House Majority Leader Julius Ihonwere leads the debate on Nigeria at 63 and the need to walk the talk in addressing national challenges.
Urge the Nigerian political class and leaders in general to sit up, refocus, re-strategize, and work together to make Nigeria a better place for all.
Are we truly independent? I'm sure that you know the answer. Politically, yes. Economically, the answer is no.
We need to stop the brain drain and we need to stop the mineral drain.
The way forward in addressing the issue of insecurity and other economic challenges is technology. I think it's for the Parliament now to take it upon itself, led by the Speaker, to have a new living wage for Nigerians in the shortest possible time.
After all, that is what the Parliament is all about, standing with the people at all times.
Lawmakers called on the police and security forces to intensify efforts to rescue 7 corps members and others still in captivity in Zamfara State, as well as curb the spate of insecurity and banditry in the northwest geopolitical zone.
Deploy personnel and intelligence capability to secure
the immediate and safe release of the 7 abducted corps members.
Conduct a comprehensive investigation into these bandit attacks, apprehension of those responsible, and their prosecution to the fullest extent of the law.
The devastating ocean surge in Ayetoro community in Ilaje local government area of Ondo State was also brought to the attention of lawmakers.
To mandate the committees on Niger Delta Development Commission (NDDC) and Ecological Fund to investigate the failure of the performance of the 6.5 billion naira shoreline protection contract.
A bill for an act to provide the policy framework for the development of Nigeria's biofuels energy industry passed second reading.
Establish the Biofuels Research Agency and for matters connected therewith. I so move.
From the National Assembly, Mitaire Ikpen, NTA News.
Lawmaking, representation, and oversight are the major functions of the legislature. Ensuring good governance is central to this constitutional role. By implication, the legislature has the task of lubricating the wheel of nation building. In this report, Ignatius Nkwo takes a look at the impact of the legislature in Nigeria's 63 years of independence.
Taking off as a parliamentary system of government in 1960 and switching to presidential in 1963, Nigeria joined the League of Nations with clear-cut separation of powers among its arms of government. The idea is to engrave good governance through effective checks and balance and ensure sustainable representative democracy en route to nationhood. The legislature in Nigeria, both the state unicameral and the bicameral at the national level, have been critical democratic institutions that have shaped Nigeria's democracy. Apart from representing all segments of the Nigerian society and churning out laws that have impacted on Nigeria's anti-corruption fight, health, education, economy and security, the legislature has also intervened in critical moments of national demand. The recent amendment to the Electoral Act is remarkable.
Quite a lot of laws have been enacted, and this to a very large extent has been able to assist in economic activities, in democratic development as well.
I can see sometimes people tell you, oh, remove the National Assembly, they are not important. This is a hallmark of democracy. The National Assembly have been a very good vehicle towards settling many issues in the states and in the federation also. We have no alternative.
The plot to elongate the two-term constitutional tenure of the president and the complexities created by the absence of the then-President Umaru Yar'Adua were addressed by the National Assembly.
During the crisis of the health challenge of the then-President Umaru Yar'Adua, the country was in a crossroad. It's the legislature that have to come out with an idea, and a doctrine of necessity, as it was known there, before we were able to straighten out things, and the rest, as they say, is history. We are able to cross that dangerous point we were in.
If the Nigerian Senate had not been there, the third-term agenda of the Umaru administration could have succeeded.
Parliamentary committees have intervened in communal crises. Some political scientists have dubbed the legislature the supreme nation builder. Regular oversight by parliamentary committees of both the National and State Assemblies, scrutiny of financial reports of government through the various public accounts committees are all in a bid to ensure value for money and to check corruption.
To ensure that the masses felt the impact of government. We just need to charge the executive arm of government to implement the laws in place.
Through parliamentary diplomacy, the legislature has also played a critical role in protecting Nigerian citizens abroad. Ignatius Nkwo, NTA News.
To speak more on the role of the legislature in Nigeria's 63 years of independence is the public affairs analyst, George Agbakahi. Welcome to the news.
Thank you very much for having me.
After 63 years of self-rule, would you say Nigeria's democracy has benefited from its legislative arm?
Well, democracy is a journey, and there is no country globally that has never had any pitfall in their democratic governance. If you analyze what has been going on in the United States legislature, the House of Representatives, in respect of the government shutdown, which was recently avoided, as well as the removal of the Speaker, the former Speaker of the House, Kevin McCarthy, you'll find out that the legislature has a prominent role to play, in democracy globally. I think in the Nigerian dispensation, I believe the legislature, which we know is bicameral, the House of Representatives and the Senate, I believe they have done well so far, in providing, dividends of democracy to Nigerians.
Would you say, as an arm of government, the legislature in Nigeria has attained the desired independence?
The legislature in the Nigerian context, they need to do a whole lot, in their oversight functions. There has been news reports of certain members of the executive arm of government that refuse to appear in the legislature for their oversight functions.
What are the major challenges of the legislature in Nigeria?
Well, I think, like I said earlier, there are challenges in every system of government. In the Nigerian system, just like in every other liberal democracy, like I mentioned, there are always challenges because of the nature of the political system. If you go to legislature, you see people from Labour Party, you see legislators from NNPP, you see legislators from PDP, as well as the ruling party, which is APC. So usually, they agree to disagree, and at the same time disagree to agree. But the other problems I foresee are issues of intermingling with the executive arm of government. I believe the legislature ought to be truly independent and autonomous, even though in some areas they have to be complementary with the executive. But have you forgotten that legislator, one of their duties is also to investigate the executive arm?
Thank you for coming on the news.
Thank you for having me.
The Cano State Systematic Land Titling and Registration Bill 2023 has passed second reading at the Kano State House of Assembly. These, among other issues, were deliberated on the floor of the hallowed chamber during Tuesday's plenary. Samira Hamisushira completes the story.
The Cano State Systematic Land Titling and Registration Bill 2023 is a private member bill sponsored by Representative Tukur Muhammad of Fagi constituency. It will, among other things, ease the process of acquiring certificate of occupancy, which at the moment is almost not feasible for many property owners, especially those in the lower class.
Regulate and facilitate all land title transactions, such as housing, farms, land, shops, etc. in Kano State. Simplifying the process of issuance of certificate of occupancy is going on as far as the issue of land is concerned. But when you have your legitimate certificate, whatever litigation is concerning a land, will go a long way in simplifying the process of litigation. I realize also government will have revenue, which is very key in governance. Revenue generation is very difficult, and when you have things that will augment the generation of revenue.
Meanwhile, the House has adopted a joint motion for the reconstruction of a road that links Karai, Kabu, Tofa, and Kumbozo local government areas, while Representatives Aminu Saadu from Ngogo and his counterpart from Fagi, Tukur Muhammad, also proposed a joint motion for the construction of a road from Conner King's Garden to Bacharawa, which were unanimously adopted. Earlier, the Kano State Infrastructure Management Agency Bill 2023 was read for the first time on the floor of the hallowed chamber. From the Kano State House of Assembly, Samira Hamisushira, NTA News.
In part 2, after the break, ECOWAS Parliament commences second extraordinary session in Ghana as new members take oath of office. Please stay with us. The Parliament of the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, has commenced the second extraordinary session of the 5th legislature in Winneba, Ghana. ECOWAS Parliament correspondent Mohammed Rabiu Ali reports.
This second extraordinary session of the Community Parliament is dedicated to the consideration and adoption of the 2024 draft budget of the Parliament supporting women and youth development. Speaker ECOWAS Parliament Mohammed Sidi Tunis says the 5th legislature under his stewardship will ensure that ECOWAS Youth Parliament is established to bring about more youth involvement and participation in political institutions in the sub-region, so as to sway them away from vices.
We have the moral obligation, like never before, to work towards protecting the dividends of democracy, including freedom and justice, peace and security, accountability and economic prosperity. It is my belief, hope and prayer that democracy will be allowed to prevail in the West African sub-region to prepare the level of development we so desire for ourselves and our people.
Speaker Tunis stated that despite the challenges faced by democracy in the sub-region, it is in the interest of members of parliament to defend and promote the sacred values of democracy.
Leaders must understand that the constitutional engineering to perpetuate themselves in power is an infringement on the sovereign will of the people, a clear violation of their mandate to rule, and a setback in democratic development and consolidation.
The second extraordinary session continues with committee sittings. Mohammed Rabiu Ali, NTA News.
The Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, has been enjoined to apply diplomacy and negotiation in handling political instability as a result of military coup in some member countries. These are the submissions of speakers at the ongoing parliamentary seminar in Winneba, Ghana. ECOWAS Parliament correspondent Mohammed Rabiu Ali reports.
The 5th legislature of ECOWAS Parliament, which consists of 15 member countries, has enormous stacks of coup-related challenges, which many believed could be addressed through diplomacy while putting pressure on the coupists to step down. The session deliberated on promoting the role of political parties and democratic consolidation in West Africa, challenges of unconstitutional regime, change and presidential terms limit. These are roles ECOWAS Parliament agrees to continue to play in strengthening national and regional democratic process.
So our partners sometimes allow us to give us a little space to breathe so we can think clearly about the solutions, and only then can they come in to support us to ensure that we're on the right path to consolidating democratic governance of the continent.
Speakers believe that African solutions must be tailored to African problems, urging to allow ECOWAS to drive the seat. They, however, advise political actors who seek political positions through elections to ensure that the economic well-being of the citizens are attended to.
If you don't take them to the economic kingdom, they will kick you out, either through a military coup or a civilian coup. It's as simple as that.
Many African countries, money the banks are in charge. They determine who become what, when and how. They determine who become the candidate. This must be looked into critically.
As deliberations continue on causes of military takeover in the region, the meeting is expected to come up with workable recommendations acceptable to member countries. Mohammed Rabiu Ali, NTA News.
Member representing Akwanga, Wamba, Nasarawa, Igon Federal Constituency, Jeremiah Umaru, has promised to bring more dividends of democracy to his constituency with a 6-year-old boy, Enoch Paul, who has been enrolled in a lifetime scholarship. The member said this when he received members of Class 0204 Accounting Departments, Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria, at the National Assembly. Mohammed Rabiu Ali reports.
These are some of the members of Class 0204 Accounting Department, Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria, who came calling to one of their own, member representing Wamba Akwanga, Nasarawa Igon Federal Constituency. The crystal reunion was to intimate the member preparations on their 15th anniversary.
We are here on behalf of the class to heartily congratulate you on your victory at the polls. And your victory is so sweet that there was no court issue. Yes. We have been to your place. We know how much your people love you. And we have also seen the mighty things you have done to repay their trust.
He has always shown leadership right from back in the days in the class. So we are happy and we are here to congratulate you. Thank you.
Responding to his colleagues, Jeremiah Umaru thanked the representatives of the Class 0204 for the visit and promised to carry them along.
If there is a class in ABU, especially Congo campus, especially Faculty of Admin, that has been together, is our class. Yes. And we are just starting, and God is actually taking us somewhere. Most of us were successful in our various capacities, and me being here, of course, is the grace of God and the support of all of you. I will not take it for granted.
Muhammad Rabiu Ali, NTA News.
Ekiti State House of Assembly has screened nominees for Local Government Service Commission, House of Assembly, and the Audit Service Commission of the state. Ayodeji Ogunshakin reports.
I represent the entire
7 appointees to constitute the Local Government Service Commission Board, 7 to form the House of Assembly Service Commission, while 5 appointees to form the Board of the State Audit Commission. One after the other, the appointees were allowed into the hallowed chamber to take the traditional bow, while some were questioned on how they intend to use their experiences to carry out their assignments and contribute to the implementation of government policies and programs, if confirmed. Some of the appointees who have served in previous administrations, those who have served as members of the State House of Assembly, as well as some with impeccable antecedents, were asked to take a bow and leave. Some of the appointees pledged to contribute their quota to the development of the state if their nomination is confirmed.
And they want to add to the value of lives, especially of the staff and the welfare of the members.
We propose when we were serving last commission that we improve the welfare of the staff, which is yet to be done, like the issue of the loans board. These are some of the things that would also present to Mr. Speaker to help us present to Mr. Governor.
With the help of God, I promise that there will be a new beginning. There will be changes, a better change in the orientation of the staff of the House of Assembly.
You have an accountable government. The government is guided, safe, and everything will be done. At the end of the day, the people will benefit from this experience. And let me commend the government for bringing technical people to come into technical position.
There was presentation of accounts of stewardship by some local government and local council development areas leadership at the plenary. From the State House of Assembly, Ayodeji Ogunshakin, NTA News.
Federal government's ratification on the Budapest Convention on Cyber Crime and international legal instruments is geared towards curbing the activities of cyber criminals. In this report, Olabode Arewa examines this and other legal framework in place to enjoin the safe use of the cyberspace for Nigerians.
A typical empowerment is this training for the youth on ICT. Such knowledge-enhancing programs, which are commonplace all over the country, serve to rightly position beneficiaries to utilize such skills. However, an emerging trend is the use of the computer and social media tools to engage in cyber fraud or even propagate hate speech. Statistics by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission indicates that at least 80% of the convictions it recorded in 2021 and 2022 were cyber crimes related. Under the Cyber Crimes Prohibition and Prevention Act of 2015, use of the cyberspace for sending offensive materials to anyone, defrauding, hacking, otherwise called Yahoo Yahoo, as well as cyber stalking, constitute grounds for such offenders to be prosecuted.
Generally, when you tell a lie or impute falsity to any human being, and that your imputation injures him in his credibility and reputation, you're liable in civil proceeding. There are certain things you say under the Cyber Act, and you spread that falsehood. You go to prison for it. You go to prison without option of a fine. Once you have tried under the Cyber Act.
When you made a post on the social media, for instance, the law is that every person take the natural consequences of his act. You are liable for the post or whatever. But regarding fake news emanating from different parties, politicians here and there, we need to take cognizance of the law of defamation, either slanders or libel.
Experts in social communications have identified the damage done by disseminators of fake news to the peace and progress of the Nigerian society and even individuals. They believe that while enforcing the Cyber Crimes Prohibition and Prevention Act, it should not be a tool for information censorship. Already, the National Cyber Security Policy put in place in 2021 by anti-graft agencies in the country are already yielding positive results with the frequent arrest of suspected cyber criminals. In Abuja, Olabode Arewa, NTA News.
That ends our news this evening. Join us again tomorrow, Thursday, for another bulletin. Remember, NTA stands against rape and rapists. You can follow us for news updates on our social media handles showing on your screen. Thanks for watching and do have a good evening. I am Ene Ojonuba.